Good morning. You're listening to Overcoming Life. I am your host, Opal Bailey. I hope that you all had a wonderful and safe time through the hurricane that we all had experienced. And I just wanted to just encourage you this week to continue to move forward in the things that comes our way, because sometimes in our life it doesn't always pan out the way we want it. Especially we've seen that this coming, the previous week with Matthew coming in our area, and how even the aftermath of it, still it left a residue, a debris of his presence here in our lives. So just want to just let you know to not focus so much upon the things that we've lost. And I'm not diminishing the things that we have. I'm not diminishing the hard work that we all have put in to accomplish, to have the car and the home and the things that we enjoy, because God blessed us with those things to enjoy them. But he don't want them to take over us so that we can be controlled by them, to where we feel like that's all that we have. I was listening to the news cast one day, and this particular news reporter was interviewing this young lady who had weathered the storm of Matthew, and he was asking her opinion about the hurricane. And so she was like, "Oh, it was devastating and really hard, and I lost everything," which her home was demolished. And she said, "But my life is over." And so he said, "Well, being that your life is over, what are you going to do about it?" She said, "I just have to just move on." And so later on that same evening, a different reporter was interviewing a young man, and he was talking about how his business, the roof just came off his business, and it just tore all of his equipment up. And he was talking about, how devastating it was, and that he lost everything. A lot of money was put into his business and everything. And so this news reporter had asked him, "Well, since you lost everything, what are you going to do about it?" And so he said, "I just have to rebuild." And when he mentioned rebuild, that just like hit me, because you know what? That is what we do every single day when we're facing challenges and we're facing situations. We just make a decision to look at it as, okay, this happened to me. This situation is not favorable. I don't like it. It's uncomfortable. But you know what? I'm just going to go and rebuild. I'm just going to start over. Because those two people, different places, different time, different reporters, but their attitude about it was the same. They didn't say, "Well, I just don't know. I'm just done. My life is over. I might as well just, go in the rock and just die." They didn't say that. Both of them said the same thing. And it just letting you know that is our attitude in situations that can really cause us to overcome any adversity that we face. And another example I want to give you as far as our attitude is the fact that a lot of us called on each other during this time to either give a word of encouragement, to pray for their families, to pray for them, the things that they felt that it was going to be destroyed, whether it's their home or their car or whatever the case may be. We all came together. All of us came together. I don't know if you really think about it. We all came together at that moment to give a word of encouragement, to pray for someone. And that's what it's all about. When you go into situations and you have to overcome things, you don't have to do things by yourself. And we don't have to know each other in order to help one another. So that moment just proved we didn't know each other. We just Facebook friends, but we don't really know each other. But yet there was a need. And so we all came and we all gathered together and we all helped with that need. And whether that need was through prayer, whether that need was through, "Hey, I need some food," or whatever the case may be, we all gathered together and we're all in this together. We're all here together. We're going to all survive and we're all going to make it. And by the grace of God, most of us did. And it was such a wake up call to me, for me to really think about what I really consider as important in life. Is it the things that I go through? Even though they are there to build you up and they are there to shape you in your character and your perseverance and most of all in your faith, because it does kind of shake you to kind of wonder, okay, where's my faith level at? Is it in the car and the house and the land, or is it in God who owns it all and knowing that, hey, he's going to look after me? And if that does go away, you know what? At least I have him and I can rebuild again. And being an attitude adjuster is good to have that every single day that we face, every moment that we face, because it's not always going to be favorable. But as long as our attitude is good, and I'm not saying walk around and smile all day and fake it. I'm just saying to just choose. It's a choice. We have choice to either we can say, hey, my life is over, it's done, I'm just fed up. Or we could say, this is a situation I'm faced with. What can I do? How can I adjust my life to meet this need or overcome this situation? And that's what overcoming life is. It is just letting you know that no matter where we are in life, no matter what comes our way, that we don't have to run and hide, but we can just stand and we can face it and overcome it. We can press through it. Whether you have to run over it, go through it, go around it, we will do what we need to do in order to continue to move forward. And that's what overcoming life is all about. That is why I chose overcoming life, because that's what it is. It's just facing the challenges and just looking at them straight on and say, you know what, I'm going to keep moving on. In spite of what the doctor said, in spite of what family members said, in spite of who's in your life or who's not in your life, what's coming, what's going, we know that with God, all things are possible. And he promised that he'll never leave us or turn his back on us. So, and he said in his word that he's for us and not against us. So if we have the God of the universe for us, think about that. If he is for us, who can be against us? Why can't we fulfill the purpose of God in our life? Why can't we move forward? There's no reason. There's no excuse. There is just our choice to either believe and move forward and press on, or we just continue to allow our circumstances and situations to dictate to us how we should live our lives. And I just want to just read this out of one of my books. It was really touchy to me, so I want to read it to you. It said, Jesus' actions and attitude provide a model to all believers of how we are to face difficult tasks and emotional, spiritual, and physical struggles that God ordained for us. Every problem with our children, every disagreement with our husbands or spouse, every stressful assignment, even on our jobs, provide an opportunity to build our character. And so that is what I've seen, even in Matthew, because you can see Matthew, this hurricane, as a negative as well as a positive. And it built character. It built more faith in knowing, God, my faith is in you, and I know that you're going to work it all out. So I just want to encourage you this week. Continue to be thankful and really consider what really matters and know that you are an overcomer. God bless you and thank you for tuning in to Overcoming Life. I am your host, Opal Bailey.